Let's make prospecting great again. Cold calling, door knocking, business to business, business to consumer, doesn't matter. I'm going to cover 4 specific topics for you guys today that are going to help you in this arena that anybody can apply regardless of your level. Some of these things are simple, some of them are more advanced, but as you start to dissect them and get better at them, you'll start to really get a better feel for prospecting and lead generation. It'll start becoming fun for you. You'll start getting better results. And now you'll stop running to the internet and crying that cold calling and prospecting doesn't work. It does. Okay? Let's jump into it. Number 1, humanize your scripts. What I mean by humanize your scripts is this. Think of the last time, or maybe when you were a brand new salesperson and somebody handed you a script. Most people complain when they get handed a script and they say, oh, it's fake. I don't like this thing. It's too rigid. It's not me, etc., right? Now, to a degree, they're correct because what's written on the paper isn't necessarily word for word what we're going to be saying to somebody. Now, you want to learn that initially because most people who come into sales have no idea how to sell, how to navigate the conversation, and they need a guideline. So the scripts are good for that, and it gives you that baseline of confidence because you know, I know what to say and I know what questions to ask. All right? Now, the next step of humanizing it is pretty simple. Think about this. Imagine you're using that script. Now imagine you're going to have that same conversation with, let's say your mom is right here, or your friend, or your dad, or somebody that you know. So if I cold called somebody on the script and said, oh, hello, is this Mr. Johnson? Yes, hello, Mr. Johnson. My name is Bryan. I'm with Real Brokerage. That's how you would normally say the script. Now, how would I say that same thing to my mom? You'd say, hey, mom, it's Bryan. That would be a lot more conversational, aka human. That's what humanizing your script is. Think of linguistically and with the syntax, the words, emulating having a comfortable conversation with somebody versus being all rigid and, hi, is this Mr. Johnson, right? You have to be able to navigate that. Why? When somebody hears that sales script, it signals something to their subconscious mind and their emotions. It's negative. They don't want to talk to you. Salesperson, right? Something bad happens. Now, when I speak to a friend or somebody that I know, that doesn't happen. Why? We are hijacking rapport and subconsciously influencing people to sound familiar. When you sound familiar linguistically, that's the key. That's going to affect people differently. So by humanizing the script, you open up the doors to better conversations. All right? Number 2, meet them where they're at. This is a big one. When you call people and you sell, it's dynamic, meaning it's not static, it's not fixed. So I might call one person, they're upset. The next person, neutral. This person, happy. The other person, excited. This person, sad. The other person, depressed. I got to meet them where they're at, not just emotionally, but also conversationally. Meaning, if they're talking about a particular thing, let's say, again, for the realtors watching me, right? Let's say they complain about the last agent that they work with. The worst thing I could do is just ask the first question on the script. Oh, you hate the agent? Got it. So when are you going to interview agents again? No. Or where are you moving to, right? That's going to break rapport. You're not meeting them where they're at conversationally. You need to find the questions and statements that correspond to where they're at. If you don't have that, you need better scripts. Grab mine. But when you meet them where they're at, it's not just emotional, it's also conversational. And this is a big piece that a lot of people miss. Now, when you're new or you're nervous or you're not that good, it's tough to do this because you have to really be in the moment and focused. But as you get better and as you learn and as you become more experienced, it'll be easier for you to do that. This is how you hijack rapport. This is how you quickly open up a conversation and move it forward with little resistance. Okay? Number 3, emotional variability. Well, Bryan, what does that mean? Well, emotional variability is pretty simple. What I mean is you, as the speaker and the originator of the communication, have to be dynamic. Most of us are boring. I'm going to say it again. Most of us are boring. Meaning you don't animate, right? You're not alive. You don't emote. You don't move when you speak. Hell, most of you are probably just watching me because I'm entertaining. You're not even really here to learn. Maybe you just like listening to me speak. Cool. Maybe there's something hypnotic about my voice and my language patterns. I don't know. But the thing is I'm dynamic. I move. When I do speeches and Toastmasters, it grips a lot of people because I know how to have emotional variability. I know how to raise my voice and lower it. I know how to be super excited, or I can be super sad and apathetic. You need to have that variability. Why? Number 1, it makes you more engaging as a communicator. But number two, you can match their emotional variability. Because if people are dealing with different emotions on the phone and you're just the stone cold zero emotion or very monotone, again, people aren't going to feel connected with you. And that's the key. Are they going to feel that connection? Notice a lot of what I talk about, and this is key in sales, it's not about what's on paper or logical, it's feelings, it's emotions. If you can connect with people emotionally, that's the ticket. That's going to win you most of the battle. Everything else is a technique to ultimately arrive to that. I need to be able to connect with people emotionally. If you can do that, you've won most of the game. You see, but people don't talk about this stuff and they don't really teach it. That's the issue. But by you having more emotional variability and being connected with that, now when you recognize it in somebody else, well, guess what? It'll be easier for you to emulate it and get on the same page. So if I'm calling somebody and they, yeah, who is this? What do you think I'm gonna do? Yeah, it's Bryan. I'm gonna match that sigh. That's an easy way for me to subconsciously hijack rapport. I'm gonna mirror and match that, right? But I have to connect with where they're at. That sigh means something. It's a particular emotional state. That's what you gotta pick up on, okay? Lastly, discovery and direction. A lot of people misconstrue selling with hammering people or being too aggressive. That's one style or one way of selling. And all of you wanna have that in your repertoire for sure. But discovery comes down to the questions that we ask and how we guide the conversation. But lastly, the direction. This is where the top-notch salespeople separate themselves. I want to provide direction. I want to discover in the conversation and then provide direction to get them to commit to talking to me later or to agree to meet now or in the future. Discovery, direction. This is why you guys have to follow that framework of who, what, where, when, how. Whenever you formulate a question with who, what, where, when, how, it's an open-ended question that leads to more discovery. Now, there's way more to it than that, but that's one of the basic frameworks that you can adopt to get people to open up. A lot of people, when they communicate in the sales situation, ask way too many and too frequently yes or no questions. And that makes the conversation dull. It makes people fall into the pattern of not wanting to talk to you. It limits emotional variability, right? Cool. Now, direction is where you start proposing solutions. And I can throw in test closes. You know what? It sounds like you're ready for the next step, Mr. Client. Oh yeah, Bryan, I am. What is it? Go for the close, right? But that's direction. I threw something on their path that directs them towards where they would want to go and where I would want them to go. Because this is the key. It's mutually beneficial. If they agree to meet with me and hire me as their real estate agent, or somebody hires me as their coach, that's the destination that we both want. They need coaching, I'm going to coach them. They need a realtor to help them sell a house, I'm going to help them sell the house. It's mutually beneficial. I'm going to direct them towards that. That's the key. Okay? So if you implement these 4 things, your lead generation, your prospecting, your communication in general is going to elevate tremendously. And this is the key. Okay? So we'll wrap up here, guys. Any questions that you have, put them in the comments. I just released at BryanCasellaEvents.com my February calendar. I'm doing a Team BC/Real Brokerage Recruitment free webinar on the 10th. The 17th, which I recommend you sign up for as well. Both of those are free, the 10th and the 17th. I'm going to be releasing my new script book to all you guys for free, which will have way more than the previous one. So I know you're going to be excited for that. I'm also doing a sales training on that presentation. That's the 17th. You can find all the links at BryanCasellaEvents.com. And coming soon, the 24th of February, I'm doing my next cold calling challenge where we're going to go into stuff like this much more in depth. Cold calling challenge is not free, it will be paid, but the 10th and the 17th are free for you to register now. The other link isn't ready yet, but it'll be up soon, okay? Appreciate you guys tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't already. If this is the type of content that you want more of, I'm going off you guys. If a video gets no comments and not that many likes, I'm assuming you don't like it. If it gets a lot of engagement, comments, likes, shares, questions, then I know, okay, I'm gonna take it more in that direction. I'm in the era now where I've been here for 13 years. It's on you guys. I will produce the content that you want. Comment, be vocal, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go with what I feel like doing. All right, see you guys.